Welcome to the Millennial Travel Forum in Antigua. This is the final roundtable discussion of the event. This is an event where we bring 14 outstanding agents from across the country to tell you how to sell the destination to millennials. I am Joe Pike. I am the senior editor of Travel Alliance Media, and I will be your host for today's discussion. And before you get to meet the lovely agents we have in the room, I first want to introduce you to the tourism and hotel representatives that we have on hand, starting with the general manager of this lovely resort. Alex, do you want to come over here and say a few words?
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Galley Bay. First of all, Minister, good to be here today. It's an honor. On behalf of Galley Bay, and I can say also on behalf of the Hotel Association, we have our director here, Ms. Patrice tonight, but I'm the vice chairman, and it's a pleasure and a great opportunity for us to having you all here. I'm sorry we're a little bit late in starting, but it took me some time to stop the rain. But Galley Bay, you can tell you guys, it's the only place in Antigua where you can stop the rain when it's needed. And here we are today for you to have your forum, and also for me to give you opportunity to meet our hotel, meet our staff. It's not a very young hotel, 65 years old, but we have a millennium spirit. We have a very young owner, 47 years old, who has been adapting this property to all the needs of the new clientele. And we have 257 staff working here for more than 20 years. So it's like a family, and I would like you to feel like a family also. And also, I can assure you that all the guests you send me here, you'll be treated as family and as guests. Thank you for the first sale. We had the sale yesterday, that's correct?
Yes.
Thank you. And also, welcome to Antigua. Antigua is a beautiful island. I think you start to understand it. Not always easy to describe, but it's something that gets on you. I came here 20 years ago. This is not the place where I lived the longest in my life, 60 years yesterday. So 20 years here by choice, and because this is what I like, and this is what we try to share with your clients and my clients. Thank you again. Have a fantastic day. Thank you.
And Alex isn't the only important destination representative and hotel representative that we have in the room today. So I would like to, I guess starting with you, Rod, maybe we could start with you and then end with Dean and Ara, and then we'll introduce you to the agents.
Rod Hines, I don't think I'm a stranger to you guys. I'm Rod Hines, the senior sales manager for Elite Island Resorts in the U.S. It's a pleasure to be here, and welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Patrice Simon, Executive Director for the Antigua and Barbuda Hotels and Tourism Association. Welcome to our little side of paradise with Adley.
Morning, everyone. Welcome to Antigua and Barbuda. Charles H. Fernandez, Minister of Tourism and Investments, Antigua and Barbuda.
Good morning, everyone. Colin C. James. I'm the CEO of the Tourism Authority. I'm the guy who signs the checks, so you be nice to me.
I have 2 mics. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lorraine Rayburn. I think I said hello to everyone this morning already. It's a real pleasure to have you here. I'm the chairman of the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority, and I'm really looking forward to this roundtable discussion. Getting direct feedback from agents is like gold, so please be honest. We want to learn from you, and we're just happy to have you here, so thank you very much.
Good morning. I'm Dean Fenton, the U.S. Director for the Northeast. Pleasure to have you guys on my beautiful island. We did a great deal this week, and hopefully this can translate into revenue for all of us. Thank you for coming.
Good morning, everyone. Similarly to Rod, I'm no stranger. I've been emailing you guys back and forth through this whole process. I'm just so happy that everyone can be here. So yeah, just, I'm looking forward to this discussion and, having future business with you guys. So I'm Ara Robbins, Marketing Officer at Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority.
And thanks, guys. We're really lucky to have all of you. And now we want to introduce you to the 14 agents that we hand-selected. This wasn't a random process. They weren't picked out of a bag. These were agents that were selected based on a certain criteria that the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority gave me. Certain markets, certain niche markets that they specialize in, cities that they come from. So they were all selected and not randomly picked. But anyway, let's start with you, Callie. We could go around and everybody just say your name, what agency, and where you're based, and then we could start telling the world how to sell Antigua to millennials, and you know what, to any generation, to be honest with you.
Hello, my name is Callie Hirsch with Callie Hirsch Travel based in New York. I am brand new to the industry, about 9 months in, and very, very happy to be here. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Steven Scott. I'm the founder and CEO of Travel Hub 365 in Chicago. I have been in the industry since 2004, and I started this company 4 years ago from scratch. So this is the type of destination I definitely want to sell, and I appreciate the invitation.
My name's Erica Drake, and I'm the CEO and owner of American Grit Travel. Been in the industry for about 7 years, and I've owned my company for about 6 months now.
Hi, I'm Danielle Stevens from Boise, Idaho. I'm with Unique Adventure Vacations, Romance Travel, and Destination Weddings. I've been in the industry for about 7 years now.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Misty Wild. I am the co-founder and owner of Black Key Luxury Travel, an affiliate of Pro Travel International. I have been in the industry for 5 years and just launched this boutique consultancy this year. So very excited to be here and grateful. Thank you for having us.
Good morning. I'm Lauren Shelley. So honored to be here. Thank you very much. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I am part of a mother-daughter agency we own for the past 12 years. And we've been doing this and loving it, and we love this island. So thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Caroline Fridley of 5 Star Nomad Travel, an independent affiliate of Departure Lounge. I'm based in Atlanta, and I've been in the industry about 12 years. I'm lucky enough to have this be my second Millennial Travel Forum, and I am thrilled and honored to be here.
Hi, my name is Avery Harris from Viking Travel in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. I work for the business that my grandmother started 40 years ago. So I was born into the travel industry almost by force, but it's a great industry to be in. And we're so grateful for all of our destination partners and our hotel partners that have been so amenable on this trip for us.
Hi, I'm Marissa Costa. I am a luxury travel advisor based in New York City and the founder of Amico, which is an exclusive social network for exactly this type of agent, modern, forward-thinking advisors, but not exclusively millennials. I have been in the industry for 9 years now, and I am very excited to be here.
Hi, my name is Ian Petrulli with Holiday Travel International, American Express, based in Pittsburgh. I've been in the industry now for about 20 years, believe it or not. Like Avery, I have a family business as well. So kind of was forced into it, and I love it. I'm actually a lawyer by trade, but went back into travel because travel is way more fun than law.
Hi, everybody. My name is Bailey White. I am based in Nashville, Tennessee with Be The Travel. It's also an affiliate of Departure Lounge. And I'm just so thankful to be here. It is also my second Millennial Travel Forum. So I think that these are great events and definitely learn a lot. And I think Antigua is a wonderful destination for this event.
Hi, everyone. I am Casey Walls from Ocean City, Maryland. I am with Travelista Travels with Zell Travel Group, and this is my second time to Antigua, and I'm very happy to be here.
Good morning, I'm Katie Herzing. I'm co-owner and founder of Dream Adventures Travel Company based in northwestern Pennsylvania. I've been in the industry for about 10 years now. This is my second time to the island, so I appreciate you having us here.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Samantha Cullum, and I am based in Houston, Texas with River Oaks Travel. And this is only my second time in the Caribbean, so I really appreciate the opportunity to come and experience what Antigua and Barbuda has to offer. So thank you so much.
I'm Brian Major. I'm the Caribbean editor for Travel Alliance Media. Just happy to be here, and lover of the Caribbean, and all of my descendants are from the Caribbean, and including my grandfather, who's from this island. So I'm very happy to be here.
Wonderful.
And Brian will be writing a lot of the stories from this event too, so you're going to be seeing that name a lot. All right, great. We have a great group here, as you could see. Let's get right into it. So I want to hear what you guys think are maybe the top 2 or 3 selling points of Antigua to millennials. Now, this question is going to have a lot of different angles to it. So if you've been to Antigua before, I would like you to say what has changed since the last time you've been here, and as far as the selling potential goes. And if you've never been here before, I want to know what your perception of the island was before and what it is now, and again, how you could sell it to, and like I mentioned before, not just millennials. I mean, we're here for the Millennial Travel Forum, but this island has the potential for baby boomers, Gen Xers. It really doesn't matter. But I would like to hear what you guys think are the 2 or 3 biggest takeaways that you're going to get when you want to pitch this island.
As far as destination, I think one of the biggest selling points is one that we hear a lot, the 365 beaches. That is so cool. There's so many beautiful options for any traveler, whether they want basically a secluded beach all to themselves, or they want more of a party feel with restaurants and bars. There really is something for everyone.
Excellent.
Okay, so I've been to Antigua before, on the water mainly. So this was the first time I got to experience on the land.
When were you here?
4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's definitely a different experience on the land, and it's beautiful, and I never knew how many incredible all-inclusive properties there are here, which is really nice. I work with more like ecotourism, millennial travel, and I really think this is such an important time for your island. You're at this crucial point where you can, go big touristy or keep it really authentic, and I really encourage you to keep that authentic feel. That's what my clients are looking for, and that's why I book Antigua, is that they don't want to feel like they're in America. They don't want a million jet skis around. They want that peace and quiet, and I think that's what you guys, this sand, this beach, the ocean, is really, that's your moneymaker, and that's what I use to help really sell it. And it's still really unknown. It's not Jamaica, it's not Aruba, it's not Dominican, but it still has those direct flights. So you're really in a sweet spot, and I love this island for that. So I hope to continue that.
Probably a different angle for millennial travelers is really the history. I love that it has the maritime history, Nelson's Dockyard, and the sugar mills. So I think that's something that's really unique about this destination and separates it from other Caribbean islands.
So this is my first time to Antigua. I knew it was a beautiful Caribbean island, but I guess I didn't understand, how beautiful and what a wonderful culture it is. You could tell right when you get off the plane, by the people that were working, just with the luggage carts, how happy they were. You can tell that you guys are truly passionate about the tourism industry and looking to, build it more. I loved that you drive around the island and it feels like you're not in a touristy destination. The beaches are uncrowded, or you can find a place that does have a little bit more action, a little bit more bar, social scene. You have the historical UNESCO heritage sites. You've got all the activities with the zip lining, things that people want in an island, and I guess I didn't fully understand how much really there is here.
First time to Antigua. Excuse my voice. And this is what Antigua does. 28 countries, and I've never lost my voice. So thank you for that, showing me a good time. It's a casual elegance. My clientele is first responders and military, so they're in the knit and the grit day in and day out to find an elegance that's, casual, and they don't have to dress up all the time. It is the option they could. But to come out here and get that luxury adventure vibe, and as well as with a bit of international flair. To be intermingled at every resort with different cultures is so unique. To meet Australians and Brits and Americans, to be hanging at a bar. I mean, I love to be engrossed into the culture and to also experience what they experience and see through their eyes kind of what they're used to for, coming all the way over here from Australia or Europe. So definitely appreciate it. It's very unique and, like I said, very boutique international flair.
Excellent.
This was my first time coming to Antigua, so my thought was that it was a much, much smaller island. I had worked as a sales manager to go back and forth from Bermuda many times, so my thought process was about the same, that it was a more upscale destination. Everything was kind of tucked in, but unique in its own way. And you guys actually proved me that you're unique in your own way, but you're much larger. Our ability to circumnavigate the island the other day was really eye-opening. I saw how each and every different property had its own flair, its own views. And one big difference that I could see in selling this destination is that it's not like other islands where you either have a mountain view and an ocean view or a resort view. Here you have coves, and you've got views of old historical mills, and just everywhere in the distance there's some sort of cliff that if you took a picture for your wedding, you've got these incredible, unique things that you're able to see. So very impressive, and I definitely see this for a multi-generational experience.
This is my second time to Antigua, and my biggest selling point is Shirley Heights. I think that, a lot of the Caribbean islands have Fish Fridays, but Antigua only has Shirley Heights. I went with my family 7 years ago, and it was my favorite time on the island. I loved that we just felt completely immersed in the community here, and I think that's really what tourists want to feel when they come. They want to feel like they're part of the community, and that's what I loved about Shirley Heights. It's a big dance party, there's street food, there's DJs and bands, and not just tourists. You have people on the island that are coming to meet up with their family and friends, and they talk to you, and I think that was such a unique and beautiful experience to have.
I'm going to kind of echo, one of the biggest sellers here is the people. Genuinely amazing people. One of the biggest things that we face right now in selling the Caribbean is whether it's millennials or baby boomers, they want to travel to somewhere safe. And this is probably one of the safest islands in the Caribbean right now, which is a huge thing. And also, there's no language barrier to the Americans. So that's a huge selling point as well.
I was here 2 years ago, and I actually sold a trip to a client off of my pictures of solely flying in and the blue crystal teal water that you see on your flight.
Excellent. That's all it took, huh?
I saw a ton of honeymoons, millennial honeymoons. That's kind of my little area of expertise, and people are looking for a different island, one that's not, like we mentioned, Jamaica or the DR. And while there's nothing wrong with those destinations, right now it's very hot to get something that's a little bit more authentic. And when you come here, not to touch too much on hotels, but there's not a ton of the big name brand hotels. I mean, you have lots of options to choose from as far as where you're going to stay, and then of course what you want to do. A lot of my honeymooners, they are really into getting the relaxation after one of the craziest times in their life of planning the wedding, and then they just want to relax, but they also want to have options for things to do, and so I think that this island really has a lot to offer, not only the beautiful landscape, but if they want to go ziplining or hiking, or the excursion that we did yesterday was absolutely amazing and so fun, and the landscape is absolutely beautiful. So, I mean, a lot to offer. It's a really great destination.
And the excursion was the Excellence Catamaran Cruise, which was a really good time, and that's probably why a lot of people don't have a voice today.
Yeah.
I really didn't know what to expect, but the beaches, I know everybody's talking about it, but blew my mind. Like, I have a lot of people that want amazing beaches. This destination has it. Also, a really great selling point, I think, for millennials, they don't want the normal islands like Jamaica or Riviera Maya. They want something a little bit more exotic. The fact that we have some direct flights to Antigua, huge selling point as well. But people are really looking not to do what everybody else is always doing. So, I mean, I think this is a great island for millennials. Amazing Instagram pictures.
Just had to throw that in at the end, didn't you? I went through my whole list of everything people have already said. I was going to harp on the Instagram thing because with all these beaches, like, yes, it's nice to enjoy them and whatever, but from a superficial perspective, like, you can get that photo with nobody else on the beach. And when we talk to these honeymooners and whatnot, part of it is, yeah, they want to be alone on the beach, but part of it is they want that photo. And they want to be able to show their friends back home that they are here with these amazing crystal clear waters and there's nobody else in sight. And that is extremely rare, in addition to just liking that, the actual photos that you get of it. And the other superficial, stereotypical millennial thing I kind of want to throw out is it's a different country. And a lot of people are like looking to just add numbers to their lists and, you know, have been more places. And so when you have someone that might not want to do Puerto Rico because it's the States or, you know, USVI or BVI or any of that, this is its own nation. So it's another one of those things that you can tick off your list and add to your count. But obviously I agree with what everybody else said, but they've said it 12 times, so I'm not going to say it again.
Since I'm going last, I think, you know, one thing to sort of put together what all of us have been talking about is this destination is really easy to get to. And with all of the remote beaches, there are little hidden coves tucked away. You can basically have your private island for a day, and it's really easy. I mean, you can book an excursion beforehand, and for people who live in major cities in the US, there are nonstop flights. Even in, you know, secondary airports, it's a one-stop schedule from almost everywhere. So you can fly from the US, get here, get to your resort, and then the next day be on a private beach where there's literally no one. And we all saw that yesterday on our circumnavigation tour. And this is my first time here, and I was honestly really surprised by how different this island is than some of the other Caribbean destinations as far as the geography goes, right? It's really varied, but it's also accessible, which makes it a really unique destination.
Excellent. Before the next question, I just want to tell the viewers a little something about the Millennial Travel Forum. This isn't a forum that we do in every destination. The destination needs to be the right fit. They need to understand the millennial market. They need to understand the millennial agent and the millennial clientele. And to be honest with you, pitching this to countries all over the world, not a lot of people get it. And when I was speaking to agents throughout the last few days, you guys were telling me that you're not often appreciated and sometimes you're not taken seriously. And there are some destinations that just have a lot of misnomers when it comes to millennials. They only book bachelor parties. They only book for people their own age. None of them have families, and all that is not true. But Antigua really seems to understand the value of not just the millennial clientele, but the millennial agent. You take these people seriously. I mean, we heard from Ian earlier. He's been in the industry for 20 years. What is it, and we'll start with you, Minister, what is the value that you see in the millennial client, and how important is it to make an investment with the agents of the future, basically, to get them to fall in love with your island so you have agents selling your destination for the rest of their careers?
I read somewhere, I think, that agents are now making a big comeback, where a few years ago everybody was booking online and agents they thought was like an endangered species. But what is beginning to happen is that people want that authentic trust factor. So they depend on the agents. They call up and say, and the agent will say, yes, I've been there, or I know persons that have been there, and this is how it is. And the agents have to tell the truth because they know they will want them to come back to them. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing to say, that how important you guys are and how fortunate we are to have you with us. So thank you for being here.
Yeah.
I think the millennials tend to be more adventurous than the older folks like Colin, but and myself. But as a result of that, you find that millennials will travel a lot quicker, and that's because the baby boomers have been taking them out a lot earlier. So they've developed that need to travel, and so that is a great opportunity for us to get the millennials, to get their millennials, however they do it through Instagram and tweeting and whatever else, to attract them to Antigua and Barbuda. So again, it is very important for us as that we see as a new market to tap into. Millennials are more into travel, I think. And it's very, very important for us to recognize that and try and attract them.
We see that there's a younger clientele that's traveling. They're into experience. They grew up on the internet, so they don't have that techno fear. And Instagram, Snapchat, you name it, those are the social media tools that they use. But it's so important that we have you guys, because you're not just influencers. You actually engage and you deliver business. A lot of influencers may have, 2 million followers, but they don't. It's a cute picture, and you're wearing a bikini, so they like your picture, But you guys translate those Instagrammable and social media moments into real hardcore business, and I think that's why you're here, and that's why we value what you do. And so, for me though, I have one question, and I want to pose that to Lauren and Ian, who like multi-generational type business. There's this, I believe it's a misnomer, but there's this notion out there that millennials have short attention spans and just a tick in the box. They just want to come to someplace once and they're not interested. And for us, and particularly on the customer service side, the repeat business for Antigua and Barbuda is astronomical. Hotels such as Galley Bay, Curtain Bluff, they're people who have been coming here since the 1960s. They come, their kids come, their grandkids come. And so I want to hear from you about this notion of millennials only want to go someplace once and tick it off of their bucket list and then that's it. Because it's so important for us that we make these experiences memorable so that they can repeat and come back and refer and do that sort of thing.
Like, you want to come back. They make it such an inviting atmosphere. And I think that's really what helps sell this destination as well. But it was a little strange. I was like, why are there so many people that are repeat? I met someone that has been coming here for 34 years and stays a month the whole time. I'm like, wow, can you be my client now? But I think once millennials do get here, they'll have that same feeling that I had, and they'll want to come back, and it won't just be that one and done thing. So I think they just have to get here. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring them here for you guys. So.
What he mentioned there, when you hear a destination person talk about having high repeat guests, that is incredibly important for our business because it costs money to get the client the first time. It doesn't cost money to get them the second time. And so when you hear high repeat, that means your job is that much easier. So if you find a destination like Antigua that can do that for you, you can get them in there and they're going to fall in love, you can move on to that next new customer to get them in. So I appreciate that you guys have focused on that because I've not heard that from other islands, but that is incredibly good for us to be able to know that if we bring them here, they'll want to come back, and that's great for our business.
Look at what you guys post, and instantly you get clients to say, okay, I want to come to Antigua. So you guys have great status cloud from what I can see, and that was one of the main thing that really made me want to go into bed with Joe when he came to me saying we should do this. And again, we're going to see the benefit of it. I'm quite sure we will, based on everybody want to follow you guys and come to where you've been and so forth. So again, I think it's a win-win for all of us.
The Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority is one of our major sponsors. Our other partner is Elite Island Resorts. And I know you're probably pretty excited to get into this part of the discussion. We've seen a lot of awesome hotels. I could tell you I was absolutely blown away by the new Hammock Cove. And I'm a little biased, though, towards this resort, Galley Bay. I have been here with my mother, I have been here with my brother, I have been here with my brother and his sister-in-law, I have been here by myself, I have been here with a bunch of strangers. This place has a piece in my heart. So I love the new Hammock Cove, but Galley Bay is always going to be my favorite just because of how much it means to me and my family and a lot of the memories that I had here. But I would like to hear what hotels you guys love the most, and try to be specific as that one thing that got you during the site inspection, that one thing where you were like, all right, I got to take a photo of that, and I need to, that's going to be the selling point for somebody.
Looking at all the different resorts, it was really neat because each resort really does cover all of your clientele that you've got. You've got the whole portfolio of hotels. It's really unique to have an adults-only resort like Pineapple Beach that is so laid back. You saw people, walking around with bare feet, or people at the restaurants, not worrying about what they're wearing or if they're talking too loud or if they're, giving off the wrong impression. It was really neat because that is unique to have that in an all-inclusive resort.
I think, and then having them so close. You know, you've got your adults only resort that's laid back, and then you've got your family friendly resort, and then you've got your Hammock Cove. Having them so close together, you know, I do a lot of destination weddings, and it's so neat to have that because the bride and groom can stay in Hammock Cove, where the families can stay in the veranda, and the people that want to just be laid back and have adults only, they can stay at Pineapple Beach. So it really does cover a lot of demographics right there in those 3 properties.
I have to mention Hammock Cove. I am really not an all-inclusive type of advisor, and I think I labored under the misconception that it is for a very specific demographic that just wants the all-you-can-eat, all-you-can-drink. And I was blown away to mimic Joe's impression. I really honestly didn't know that a luxury product existed like that. The service was wonderful, the food was amazing, and I think my wow moment was definitely stepping out on that outdoor patio and just really seeing how livable it was with the plunge pool and the swing that everyone took photos in and the outdoor kitchen. I mean, it's the type of 5-star product that I would sell all the time. And I just did not know that existed for an all-inclusive. So,
Who would you have in mind to pitch it to? What kind of, be as specific as you can?
Sure. You know, I think really the type of person, millennial client or any generation, who doesn't want to have to think, which apparently I was doing this morning. No, someone who doesn't want to look at their wallet again, who doesn't want to have to calculate how much they're spending on dinner. I love that there's so many activities included, the water sports and just the location. So it's definitely for someone who wants to have all of the options at their fingertips, but doesn't want to have to think too hard about it. So, yeah.
Excellent.
The location of St. James was perfect. You've got the marina, so you can have that, and you're close to the, to all the boats to do those circumnavigation tours. I also loved that there was the new gym, because like I said, I have very active millennial clients. They want to still get their workouts in. They want to kind of get fit and feel good, and then get onto the beach and have fun. And then finally, I like about St. James is that you guys have that club, that Level Up Club. I don't remember the name, maybe.
The Royal Suites.
The Royal Suites. And I've seen a lot of hotels do this, and I actually think it's a wonderful idea to upsell. It helps us, make money, helps you look good. And I think that wow moment for me, you're asking, Joe, was when I turned around the corner in the adults only pool, and they had the waterfall coming down, and you had the marina and the sunset, and it was calm. And I think we all just kind of sat there and we're just at peace. I will say one thing, I would love to see Wi-Fi included in all your properties. I think that's something Americans, especially millennials, are expecting, and especially with social media, I think that would be something to consider for your properties.
Well, I'm a big fan of Galley Bay. I stayed here the first time I came to Antigua, so it's sort of like coming home again to be here. I've had clients here before who've loved it. I'm actually booking some today or tomorrow, whenever I can get back to my computer, who are coming for 9 nights
Marvelous.
in the summer to celebrate their 20th wedding anniversary. And I think it's just such a beautiful property. One of my favorite things is the sugar mill, because that gives you such a sense of history when you first arrive here. Obviously the beaches are spectacular. The room product I love. You can do beachfront, or the fact that you have the Gogam cottages with the private pools for the clients who do want more privacy, especially honeymooners, or just any romantic couples vacations. There's a Hammock Cove I completely loved as well, and can't wait to sell it. I think probably most of y'all would agree with me that plunge pools or private pools are a big thing. Millennials love having those. And then just to have, a very elegant, sort of what Misty is saying, elegant, high-end, all-inclusives that don't have that feel that a lot of people think of, that's just going to be a lot of people getting super drunk in a massive resort, but instead, having a really beautiful, romantic, elegant, not even necessarily romantic, maybe a girls' trip, but experience where you do have that more exclusive feeling.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I have been really, one of the things that I've really enjoyed about Antigua are the small tucked away things where, you know, a lot of people, they're going to an all-inclusive resort. It's a mega resort, you know, Riviera Maya, it's huge pool, thousands of people around. The resorts that we've seen have all had little tucked away gems, right? So like at Pineapple Beach, there are 3 pools. They are small pools, but they are all sort of tucked away. So what you end up with is a smaller, more intimate atmosphere, and there's just less people around. My big wow moment was at the Veranda, and this is gonna sound really simple, but I swear that was the coolest resort beach I've ever seen. It was really small. It had trees right on the beach. There's a bar right there. There's maybe 40 chairs out, and there's 5 people sitting there. So it's really nice and intimate, and there's not that many people around because things are spread out. The resorts are still big and have a lot of services, but because of the way they're designed, things are tucked away. So it feels like you're in a smaller property than you really are at.
So kind of harping back to the whole agents being influencers thing, yes, it's one thing that we have clients following us, but I think it's something I try to emphasize a lot is how many other agents we follow. And so literally while I was at Hammock Cove, or after I posted, I get a message, blah, 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 a lot of social stuff. How's Hammock Cove? People at Brownell were asking me about it since it's new, would love your feedback. So rather than me having to write an email, hopefully I'll just have her watch this. But I loved Hammock Cove. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. Plunge pools, like you said, totally just, you know, exactly where you just want to sit and enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm known for being a little bit of a princess when it comes to my accommodations, and I could see myself being very, very comfortable there.
Like everyone else, I really liked Hammock Cove, and I totally have the clientele for that. But I also liked Pineapple Beach Club, too, because it's laid back. And then the vibe at night, the resort just didn't die, like so many all-inclusives. So I really appreciated that, and everybody's so much fun, even the workers, when karaoke was going on. I mean, there's always activities going on, so I appreciated that. And I think I had an image before I came here that all these resorts were kind of more laid back, nothing going on at all. It was just about the beach, but that kind of shocked me, and I was like, I like this place. I could go back myself here.
What's the difference in the clientele from the Veranda to Hammock Cove? Who are you going to pitch Veranda to, and who are you going to pitch Hammock Cove to?
I would say it's more laid back versus luxury, in my opinion. Someone that's looking for a little bit more modern, I might send them to Hammock Cove. Someone who's like, I get a lot of couples who are like, my husband can't sit still. You know, like if I make him lay on the beach or lay at the pool or stay in our plunge pool for a week, like he's gonna go crazy. And so, you know, having that, knowing that you can do something like putt-putt, or there was ping pong, and there was the really cool beach bar, and so all of those things too, definitely, they're similar. They're both really great, but that's something that differentiates the two for me.
Awesome.
I really like the 2-bedroom villa with the private pool at the Veranda. I think it's perfect for families that have multi-age children, because if one's taking a nap, you're not going to have the older kid that's freaking out because he can't be at the pool still because he has his own private pool. So I think that it's perfect for the families with multiple children. And then you also have 2 separate bedrooms so the kids aren't in the same room with you.
And Casey, you've booked Pineapple Beach Club before, right? Can you tell us a little bit about that booking, who you booked it to, and what kind of experience they had?
I actually had a lady reach out to me for a 30th birthday present. She wanted to go somewhere that was laid back with really good food and a beautiful beach because they're not pool people. They didn't want to do the normal Jamaica or Dominican Republic. She wanted someplace different. I knew right away I could send her to Pineapple. I knew when I called Elite, they would have champagne waiting in the room for her. And I knew it was the perfect place for her because the food is excellent. I've been to the Outhouse before, so I knew that the food was going to be good. And they were going to have that laid-back feel, and they had the floating rafts in the water, which really sold her.
Excellent. And what was the feedback you got? Excuse me. What was the feedback you got upon return?
They're looking to come back. They actually were looking at my Hammock Cove pictures, so they're waiting for me to post some more, and then they're probably going to be back within the next year.
I liked all of the resorts for different reasons. I sell a lot of destination weddings, and I do a lot of honeymoons, empty nester trips, type things like that. So it's nice to be able to have an array of options. So you can do Hammock Cove for your empty nesters or your honeymooners. But then, you know, as their families, as these millennials families start to grow, they want to still share those experiences. So now you can sell them on coming back to the island and say, bring your children and you can go to the St. James Club now, or you can go to the Veranda, or, you know, even destination weddings like Danielle had mentioned earlier. It's great that those 3 properties are all so close together, because you can put, you know, the adults only at either Pineapple or Hammock Cove, but then the ones with families, you can do the Veranda, which, by the way, has an amazing kids club. I was very impressed with that kids club there. You know, a lot of the times where you see a resort advertising a kids club, you see this tiny little hotel room that was transplanted into this play area for children, you know, that's an 8x8. And as a parent, it's really nice to have that option that you can set, you know, let the kids go and play, and they're not going to be cooped up in a tiny little area. So that was a very nice selling point for families, I think.
So our agency focuses primarily on more high-end luxury clientele, and I think Hammock Cove it's an easy sell for us. It's the newest all-inclusive resort on the island, so everything is shiny, it's brand new, it's gorgeous, it has all the amenities that clients are looking for out of their trip. And I think, of course, the wow moment is that infinity edge plunge pool. I think I was the first and maybe the only person to immediately go over, take my shoes off, and dip my toes in the pool. It was very nice, I can let you know. But I think it was also the staff there. I was very impressed. Even though it's a new resort, sometimes that means that kinks are being worked out, or you don't have quite the long-standing history that, say, Galley Bay has, where the staff has been here for 20, 30 years. But on our site tour, we were downstairs at the bar, and, you know, they made a cocktail for us, and I was kind of having a back and forth with the bartenders. By the time we came back for dinner, and I'm not even a guest, I'm just touring, the bartenders had remembered me and said, oh, don't order, we're going to make you a special drink instead. And so they did that twice and brought out completely different things each time, to where everyone else at the table was amazed, and what did you order? And I said, I don't know, Joel has my back. And so as we're saying goodbye, I'm hugging some of the staff goodbye, because we had had that nice little moment together. And I think there are beautiful hotels all over the world, in the Caribbean, in Mexico, Europe, no matter where you go. But it's those little memories that you come back and you want to text your friends and, you know, tell your mom, oh my goodness, this crazy thing happened, let me tell you about it. So I think besides just having beautiful room product, I think it's those little memories that I'm sure are happening at every single one of the elite island resorts. Excellent. That really makes people want to come back.
I think some of the perspectives touched on here are quite accurate. Americans are pretty familiar with Jamaica and the Dominican Republic, very popular. Many people want Caribbean, but they want a Caribbean that's distinctive and that's different. Certainly millennials are looking for something that is just not quite the ordinary. And the fact that Antigua has such great air connections, such a diversity of hotel product, and then, as was mentioned here, UNESCO World Heritage Sites, beautiful beaches, culture, and opportunities to connect with locals are what millennials and even some of the baby boomer travelers are looking for today. I think Americans in the last few years have become a little more have a little more wanderlust, a little more adventuresome, ready to try new things and different things. And I don't want to say Antigua doesn't have the name recognition. I think it's building, but I don't think it is always at top of mind for some of the people who are familiar with other Caribbean destinations. So for them, it's kind of trailblazing. So there's quite a lot for folks to feel great about coming here. And, you know, it's easy to get here. And it's not quite the travail to travel here. You're here quickly. You can leave in the morning. You're on the beach in the afternoon. There's nothing better than that. And, you know, you can choose the level of activity that you want here. You know, as busy as you want, as active as you want, or as we were doing at Pineapple, just chilling, hanging out on the beach, beautiful beach, quiet beach. the point folks were making, that these huge beaches there's nobody on the beach. I mean, it's perfect. I mean, it's just great. So, the Caribbean, in tracking our statistics, the Caribbean is growing every year. We have more people coming to the Caribbean every year. So I think Antigua is well positioned to continue growing. And folks like Colin and what you guys are doing is so important, because it doesn't happen on its own. It has to be marketed, it has to be promoted, it has to be made attractive to folks, and I think that's happening. So again, this destination is in a sweet spot. I think it's really in a great position.
Absolutely. I booked Galley Bay for the first time a few months ago to very VIP clients, and by that I mean they're my cousins. They have 4 young children. They haven't been on a vacation, the 2 of them, in 15 years. And they chose the island. They chose Antigua because they knew it was safe. But I hadn't been to this property, and I asked colleagues, and I asked friends that I made on Merso's Amico board, and everyone said Galley Bay. So they came here for 5 nights, and they absolutely loved it. They stayed in one of the suites with a private plunge pool. They were greeted with champagne, and they had the absolute best time. They were very excited when I told them that I was coming here. About a month after their trip, there was sadly a death in the family, and we were at this funeral, and all they wanted to do was pull me aside and talk about Galley Bay. So I'm very excited to rebook this property. I'm happy to be here and see it in person. And I will definitely be sending them back here because they will be repeat clients.
Big thing I noticed from all 4 of the resorts that we saw was that you actually have the facilities to manage and support incentive and corporate meeting travel. So if anyone's watching online, hopefully you can see where we're sitting right now. This is the type of place you want to have that sales meeting in. Each and every hotel had a large room that had full food and beverage, had AV, and every one of us has someone we know that is traveling for work, but then they're also traveling for that big sales meeting. If you see them in a different destination, you ask them where they're going or why they're there. If they say they're there for a meeting, you don't have to end there. You can say, can I talk to your HR manager? Because I've got a great place that you can go to that's going to have all the facilities you need, something different and exciting for you to offer to your employees, and you can help facilitate that. So absolutely, great job. Continue to build the hotels the way you do, and continue to encourage them to build the hotels the way they do, because this is the way to go for those large meetings as well.
Excellent. Erica?
I'd have to say one of the biggest selling points for Antigua, and a lot of my clients are FIT clients, so they go to multiple cities in a country. You know, Americans typically don't have a lot of time to travel, so they want to get in as much as they can. And I'm all about split stays. So I would do like the first 4 nights at Beach Club, get yourself in the toes in the sand, relax vibe, and then I'd upgrade that to a veranda or a hammock to get that sophisticated luxe experience just to finalize their trip. So that's how I would book it here. A little bit of both. If you're gonna come out here from Chicago, I would definitely say stay at 2 resorts.
That's smart.
Can I add something about the family market?
Yeah, go for it, Danielle.
So I have clients for life. So I do a lot of romance travel, but my goal is to keep them for every part of their life. So family, being a mom of 2 small kids, it's really hard to find a resort that has a kids club that takes kids under 4. You know, and it was neat to hear that the veranda takes kids after they're potty trained. So that's 2. So that's a huge selling point. But then also at St. James, you know, sitting at dinner, you looked around and it was every generation. You had your big group of millennial girls that were sitting around a table chit-chatting. And then you had the grandparents with the teenage kids. You know, you had the couple older generation sitting behind you. So it was really neat to see a mix of clientele at St. James.
Excellent. Rod, can you tell us how important the millennial clientele is to Elite Island Resorts? And we'll single out Hammock Cove just because it's the newest one, but what was done with the millennial in mind when designing and building that hotel?
Well, first I want to say how honored I am to hear all of you speak about our resorts here. I'm really, really flattered and delighted to have you here with us. We spoke about this about a year ago, I guess. About a year ago, we spoke about doing this.
New York Times travel show.
That's right, New York Times travel show. And the first one I saw that was done in Barbados, I was very, very impressed with it. And as I pulled him aside, I said, we've got to get this to Antigua. And he immediately said yes. And of course, we wanted
my
to.
arm.
Yeah, no, I didn't have to twist his arm. Dean immediately came on board. So we're just honored to have you all here as millennials. As all of you mentioned, we've got resorts for everyone. Anyone that walks into your office can essentially come to one of our properties, whether it's a millennial, whether it's a grandmom, whether it's a girlfriend's getaway, a guy's getaway. We have something for everyone here in Antigua and at our resorts. With regards to millennials, you mentioned Hammock Cove. I think Hammock Cove, and I think you'll agree with me, is the absolute perfect spot for a millennial. Do you agree with that? Yeah. I mean, it is, I'm not really supposed to have a favorite property, and I really don't. I think they're all wonderful. But I think Hammock Cove, we designed Hammock Cove with that in mind, to attract the millennial business. And I think that from what I'm hearing from your comments, I think that that'll be a pretty easy sell for you. I'm just delighted to hear your comments. I'm happy that you've enjoyed the destination. I also want to thank the minister for being here, CEO, chairman, and Joe. This would not have been possible without the leadership and the coordination of this gentleman right here.
Thank you,
Joe,
Rick. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. I handle compliments very well, by the way. I'm not one of these people who get awkward. I'd like you to talk a little bit more about me when we get back to that. But so this is a social media-driven event, right? This event was to show the world that you guys are social media savvy too, but unlike the social media celebrities or the YouTube celebrities, you guys just don't post and then go to the next destination. You post and you sell the destination you're at. So with that in mind, I would like to hear the best photo that you've taken. Whatever it was, if it was at a hotel, if it was a beach shot, what was the best Instagram moment you had, and how are you going to leverage that into a booking?
I was being really creepy and taking pictures of people when they didn't know it. And Danielle was laying on the beach with her hat, and she was just chilling, looking so comfortable.
Brilliant
with
picture.
the crystal clear water behind us. And then Erica's pineapple beach bag was right there. And so she actually tried to pick it up, and I'm like, no, leave it. I'm working on something. And I got this photo with, again, Danielle looking super relaxed, and also not just the beautiful beach, but saying exactly where it was. So that's the kind of thing that, you know, you can post a picture on any beach. People, yes, you can tag it, but it isn't immediate where they are, because the bag was in there. It was very clear, like, this is Antigua. And hopefully we can use it to sell, because she looked like she was in the best place ever. So.
Whoever wants to pop in, or else I'll just start picking on people.
I'll pop in.
All right.
I posted a picture yesterday after our cruise, and it's gotten so much feedback. And actually, what I love to see is people's comments and people getting engaged in the conversation once I post, because that's showing engagement and likingness. So what I posted was a picture of me on the boat, no makeup, wind in the hair. I think there was like a piece of hair like across my face. I probably had sand everywhere, but I looked relaxed, and the water was behind me. And I just said, I think I made a comment about, because when I came here before, I was with a bunch of girlfriends from college, and we'd been on a boat. And I said, hey girls, and I tagged them. I know where our next, spring break 2020 is going to be. And all of them started responding. And then people who weren't part of my tag were like, bring me in, I want to be in, And so then that conversation happened, and I said, and then I kept engaging and said, all right, I've been to a full moon party. Get ready to jump in the ocean, get ready to dance around. And I started building the story.
And Lauren has done all of those things, by
Yes,
the way.
I did.
Yes.
So that was my best photo so far.
Excellent. But how do you turn that into money?
Well, I started planning the trip. I just said, okay, so we're going to go here. Give me 4. I even have said this, if you look at my Instagram feed. Okay, just give me 4 nights. I know, I've already gotten things planned. So, I definitely will be booking them. And that it turns into money. But also, other people who are seeing the conversation say, wow, Lauren really knows her stuff. I trust her. She had the experience. Okay, maybe I'm not part of this friend group, but I have my own girlfriends that now I can see her planning it, and I can build that story in that picture, and then people say, okay, let's book it. And I didn't specify a hotel, because I just said I have it planned, don't worry, because I want people to I want to be able to customize it and say, depending on their budget and what they want out of it. So that's how I'm going to keep reeling them in.
Fabulous.
And just to give the viewers a little idea of the power of social media, our inaugural Millennial Travel Forum in Barbados, there was an agent who booked 7 Barbados trips in 10 months, and she was not even on the trip. She just liked and shared everybody's videos and said, I booked this place too, and she did 7 in 11 months. So that just shows the power of the followers that you have. It's, you know, you could get a YouTube celebrity, like you mentioned, Colin, they're usually wearing a bikini, and that's probably why they're getting a lot of followers. But we don't know who these people are. Who are the 400,000 followers? You might have 1,000 followers, but 600 are other travel agents. So it's not the number of your followers, it's who they are. And it's, again, you could have a great number and get 0 bookings, and you could have 1,000 followers, and I bet you guys are gonna book this destination 10 times more than anybody who's got a bikini or bathing suit shot on the beach, all right? Because you guys actually have a sales background. You're not just great photographers. You know how to sell what you're taking photos of. But anyway, that's my little take on it. But Caroline, I think I cut you off. Well, now I did.
So I was thinking about it. I think so far one of the pictures I posted a few days ago, because on Sunday, I had an extremely rare day where I did not have any site visits. So I was on the beach because I came to Antigua a little bit early, and I posted a photo showing the hammock, the gorgeous sky and water and beach, and you know, a little story about how as travel advisors we so rarely get any time. I shouldn't say any time. We so rarely have a full day with nothing to do, no deadlines, no super pressing client things, and how it was wonderful. And I was so thrilled that I was going to get to have a day there, and I think a lot of clients and other agents looked at that and certainly understand that, but also I'm working on a couple of other Antigua bookings based on that, because potential clients look at that and say, okay, where do travel advisors choose when they actually have their day in the sun and nothing to do? Like, if she is so thrilled to have, you know, a day here, it must be an awesome place.
Excellent. And Bill, do you want to chime in? Danielle, you look like you're ready to talk.
I just took a photo over here of the blue chair, wooden chair, the green vegetation, the palm tree, the blue water, and the gorgeous beach that is not like any other color beach we've seen so far. Just the variation in the different shades. You know, somebody that sees my photo can envision themselves sitting in that chair. And not that it will generate necessarily business right away, but they can envision themselves there. And then when someone, you know, mentions in Facebook, what I've noticed a lot lately is that, you know, someone will say, hey, I'm looking to go to the Caribbean. I need some guidance on where to go. What site should I be looking at? Should I be looking at, you know, Expedia or Orbitz? And somebody will tag us in there and say, hey, I just saw Danielle took a photo of this island. She's been there. She knows. You know, reach out to Danielle. So it's more just generating, you know, we go to these places, we see these beautiful places, and then people can put themselves in these situations, in these beautiful photos, and envision themselves there.
Excellent. Go for it, Galley.
Yesterday, I took a picture wearing a Santa hat on the beautiful paradise yesterday, and so many comments. How can I be there right now? I don't want to be anywhere else other than on that rock with that beach. I know that it'll generate a lot of bookings for next holiday time also, because why would you want to be anywhere else in December?
And Stephen, you've actually you've translated like conversations on a thread into actual bookings too, right?
Yeah, all the time, especially on LinkedIn. You just never know.
What happens? Somebody likes a photo and then they private message you, and then what happens? Well, how do you get it off the thread and I guess into your office?
Sure, I'll always engage for a comment or two, but then I'm pulling it off and we're getting more personal and direct and information about what they want to do. But I get a lot of comments into those different posts. But one big thing I do to translate those sales is to actually use my website. So I create landing pages for the things I talk about. So when I'm in those different destinations, if I have a moment, I'm going to create a landing page so that they can then click off of that and get into that website and get more detail and contact us from there. And I take that as I'm trying to beat the Expedias and Hotels.com at their own game. Instead of allowing them to be the one that clicks through and then next thing you know they're making the booking, they can click through and then get personal assistance along the way. So that's literally how I translate from social into the website and then into bookings. But I tell you, I haven't heard the words "I'm so jelly" in in all of my different destinations than being here in Antigua. I think in every post I had.
That's short for jealous for the baby boomers watching.
Yes, even for me. So I heard that a lot, but thank you for all of that.
Yeah, and I'm going to add on to that. I think it has a lot to do with the engagement, too.
Yeah,
I think somebody who takes a social media celebrity is not going to respond to the engagement. I think an agent is actually, that social media person, you might not even know how to get in touch with them.
Yeah.
You don't even know their, I mean, these guys will like post their phone numbers along with the photo. But yeah, I'm sorry, Colin, you want to chime in on that?
Sure. I think one of the things that we take a lot for granted in Antigua and Barbuda is our beaches. And when it's 9 degrees back in the Midwest or, upstate New York or Boston, and you see that picture with that water, and you guys talked about the different colors of teal, and we take it for granted, but it's one of the unique selling propositions that we have. We're the only country that has 365 beaches. And when it's a leap year, like next year, 2020, we find another one. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
So we underestimate the pull and the power of what we have. They're clean, they're beautiful, they're uncrowded. I kept hearing that common theme. And there was a conference that I went to, hosted by CTU a couple of years ago, and they showed some surveys that pictures of beaches like that for tourist countries gets the most likes. The most engagement. Wow, where are you? I'd like to be there. Is the water really that blue? What filter are you using? There's no filter. It's absolute. We take it a lot for granted, but I mean, just a shot. That lady walking across, looking at that water. It's just very, very compelling, particularly during the months of November and March when it's really cold in our source market. So, I just want to say, I think from a standpoint of what you post and when you post. There's nothing like a picture of an Antigua and Barbudan beach to really get people sucked in, whether it's, chilling on the beach with a big hat or, you're Dudley Bay stuck in the sand. It does something. It really resonates. And I'm sure you guys are feeling that, and we have felt that too. Sometimes we take it, oh yeah, we have our beaches. Yeah, everybody, and people say everybody has beaches, but nobody has beaches like this place. So we're particularly pleased and proud that you guys have been able to leverage on that, but we've been able to learn from you. We were taking copious notes of some of the things that you said, and I kept hearing the word advisors, and that's what you are. You're not travel agents, you're advisors, because we can put a picture up and put an ad out there and say, oh, we're the best thing since sliced bread, and people say, yeah, he's paid to say that. But people value the advice that you give because you're professionals, and it's even more valuable when you've experienced it yourself. Or I kept hearing, I want to come back and have my chill time here too. And that says a lot for this destination and for this country. And I'm particularly pleased today to be here and to hear the constant feedback about our people, because that's something, and it's dear to Minister's heart, that even as we put out a good product and we market, if we are not welcoming, if we don't engage, if we don't make those experiences memorable, they won't come back or they'll go somewhere else. So it's so important that even this week as we're celebrating Tourism Week, we are trying to engage the entire population as to just how much this industry means to all of us and the benefits that we all get from it. And one of the key components in that equation, it's our people and their ability to relate and engage and interact with our visitors. So a lot of good stuff, and we're learning, and we really appreciate what you guys do.
Excellent. Thank you, Colin. All right, so we're running out of time. I know some people have to get to the airport, actually. That's dedication, by the way. With that said, before we wrap it up, I'm going to let Minister, would you like to say some closing remarks?
Thank you. Once again, it's an honor and a privilege for us to have you here. And don't underestimate how important you are to the industry and by extension, of course, to us. But I just wanted to say that I was born here and grew up here, so the beaches and so on I probably take for granted. What stands out for me most is when I see a post saying that I had a wonderful experience with somebody on the island. That means so much to me because a lot of people, as you say, now come to resorts, but at the same time want an opportunity to go out and meet with people. we have we have the lowest crime rate in the region. It's not something that we can brag about because it's almost as though you're throwing your neighbors under the bus. For this year, we have had, and I hope, I hope ends very quickly without any other incidents. We've only had 2 murders for the year, and both of them are murders of passion. We're beginning to think maybe it's the water, but either that or the men love very heavily and very strongly. But no. For me, the most important thing is, and this is why people will come back. If they have a good time, they're going to come back. I'm sure they can find a beach somewhere in the Pacific or somewhere in Mexico or somewhere. But at the end of the day, it's safety and how good they're treated and the warm feeling from our people. And to me, that is our greatest asset apart from the beaches. So once again, thank you for coming. Don't again underestimate the important role you play to all of us. Thank you.
Yeah.